Yo, what's going on guys, HyperX here, welcome back to another Monster Hunter video, and today I want to take a trip down memory lane because I want to talk about 4 monsters you may have never encountered before. We've had hundreds of monsters to fight over the years in Monster Hunter, spanning various different titles, many of which you likely would have played and fought, but some, most notably those introduced in either Monster Hunter Frontier or Monster Hunter Online, were understandably less accessible, Monster Hunter Online especially. So today I've picked out 4 monsters introduced in Monster Hunter Online that you may not have encountered. If you did play MHO, then let me know in the comments down below and let me know your experience fighting some of these monsters, but if not, then let me know what you think about these monsters and if you'd like to see any return in the future. Also, just before I get started, we have another incredibly exciting announcement to share with you guys. We've been hard at work on another officially licensed Monster Hunter product. This one has been nearly 2 years in the making, but we have just released the Ponchies, this cute little palico wearing Monster Hunter ponchos. There's a Rathalos, a Zenogre, a Nogigante, and a Paolumu, and you can even buy the palico on its own if you would prefer. The poncho is also completely removable, so you have some customization. We're super proud of these and we are so happy with how they turned out, so if you guys want to grab one, then hit the link in the description box down below and grab them while stocks last, because these are gonna go fast. Now, back to the video. First up, let's talk about Bayley, another Carapacian, which is a type of monster I honestly want to see more of in Monster Hunter. Bayley are Carapacian with a spider-like appearance that is, frankly, terrifying. They have 2 pairs of legs and a pair of pincer-like claws that have 4 pairs of brown claws. Its back seems to be either a pattern that looks like a monster's head or a skull of an unknown monster, and the eye sockets on its back turn red when it's enraged. Bayley will use its large claws to attack and knock down enemies, and these claws are Bayley's primary means of attack, but it's also capable of spitting out a silk-like substance, and when this silk-like substance is spat out, it can also leave silk trails on the ground, and if the hunter walks over these, they will get stuck. It can also use its silk to swing itself around while hitting enemies with its large claws. This is actually a monster I personally got a chance to fight myself, since it's one of the ones you fight much earlier in Monster Hunter Online. Moving on from there, we then have Slice Mogul. Similar to Blangonga and Rajang in build, Slice Mogul are large quadrupeds with canine-esque faces. Their bodies are covered in a black and white striped pelt, and blade-like bones protrude from their arms and back. Much like the aforementioned fanged beast species, Slice Mogul are often seen traversing on their fists. They employ their raw physical prowess and bladed bones during combat, using their sharp bones to inflict the stab status on targets. And although Slice Mogul mainly engage in melee combat, they are capable of launching their bones on their backs whilst airborne. Damaging a Slice Mogul's bladed bones can also restrict its abilities, and these bones will slowly regenerate over time. Kinda reminds me of Spike from X-Men. Slice Mogul typically prefer pursuing stronger prey, such as Kezu and Ice Charmine, compared to weaker prey like the Anteka or the Blango, and for unknown reasons, Slice Mogul are even known to protect some of these weaker creatures. Slice Mogul are typically quite solitary, however they can occasionally be spotted hunting in pairs. Then moving on from there, we then have Estrelian. Estrelian is an unclassified monster with a body that is visually similar to elder dragons such as Kshala Daora or Ruko-Diora, but only this time it has no wings. The majority of its body is covered in orange-brown scales, with its underside being white. It also has antennas akin to the wings of a star butterfly protruding from behind, and Estrelian's orange energy can be seen flowing through transparent sections of their chest. After taking enough damage, this monster will call its star butterflies to armor its body in one of 2 ways, drastically changing its appearance. In its armored state, an Estrelian's body will be covered in brown diamond-shaped plating constructed from star butterflies clustering their shells together, and while in its winged state, the star butterfly's shells will be replaced with butterfly wings that protrude from all over Estrelian's body. Similar to Zenogre, Estrelian utilizes these butterfly-like insects, called star butterflies, as both an offense and a defense mechanism, often utilizing them to block attacks that would otherwise hit the monster. And when threatened, Estrelian will order its star butterflies to latch onto its body to become sturdy armor that protects most of the body from attacks. While in this armored state, they can also use their long tail to fling star butterflies as projectiles, with the star butterflies then returning after the attack, kind of like a sort of a butterfly boomerang. Then finally, moving on to our 4th and final monster, we have Tartaronis. Tartaronis is a rather large elder dragon that resembles a sea turtle. Its facial structure is odd, with the top of its head having a distinctive pointed look to it, and its lower jaw being similar to that of, say, Eucanlos. On its back are several moving spikes that shift in and out whenever it moves or takes to the skies, and it has a very long tail fin which holds greater length than its main body. This Elder Dragon's abilities tie into manipulating sand. While on the ground, it often fires out blasts of sand from its back, or fires off larger projectiles from its mouth. and when it takes to the air, it causes 4 tornadoes of sand to appear. This beast also surrounds itself with what appears to be an aura of sand, and in addition to this, while airborne, it will fire projectiles from its back far more frequently than on the ground. So it is definitely a tricky beast to encounter. But that, my friends, is pretty much it. That's a quick look at 4 incredibly cool monsters that you might not have heard of before. Most likely not monsters we'll see again on account of Monster Hunter Online not really being canon per se, but who knows, anything is possible. For the time being, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you've missed some of the recent videos, be sure to check out one of these ones. Again, don't forget to grab your ponchis on the Endgame store, link down below, and be sure to keep it locked for plenty more.